Welcome back to, let's call this Motivation Monday. How about that? April 7th, 2025 for the Daily QCI. Today we are going to touch on passion. And this comes from The Passion Paradox, the book. It's a few years old, but a really good read. So if you don't have it, go get it now. I don't have any affiliate links to share, so find a local bookstore and grab it from there. So Steve Magness and Brad Stulberg wrote The Passion Paradox several years ago. I found the book really helpful, interesting, and inspiring. So I'm going to share some key concepts with you today, and then you can go grab it. Read it for yourself. So the Passion Paradox looks at these two types of passion. We're going to get into those two types of passion today. We often hear from a guidance counselor in high school all the way up throughout our careers to find what you're passionate about and follow that passion, do that thing. And in the book, they warn to be careful about that. More recently, Scott Galloway talks about not trying to find your passion, but instead finding your talent and following your talent. So more food for thought there. But let's get into the Passion Paradox. Two types are mentioned in the book, harmonious and obsessive. We're going to touch on both of these today, why they might be good or bad. First, harmonious is the healthy, sustainable kind that integrates well with life. This is when we find an activity that fulfills us. It enhances well-being, promotes balance in our lives, brings us joy, and helps to prevent the negative side of passion, like burnout and some things like that, which leads us to number two, the obsessive passion. And this is uncontrollable. It's a need to do an activity or it'll eat you alive. You're chasing external validation, tends to leave you feeling kind of empty. This type can lead to conflict, stress, a decline in overall well-being, and you may find that it's forcing you to neglect other important things in your life. So does passion equal success? Not always. One common misconception is that following your passion always leads to success and happiness. However, this often overlooks the importance of intentional use of passion and the pitfalls of obsessive passion. So how do we build a sustainable passion experience? First, try to detach from the outcome. Too much focus on the outcome leads to stress and disappointment. Detaching from a specific result allows you to enjoy the journey, and ultimately that builds resilience. It's important to realize that your passion doesn't define you. And this is where having multiple sources of identity comes into play. We oftentimes attach our identity to the thing that we do, whether that's an activity or an occupation or something else. And we need to take a step back, realize that diversifying the activities that we do will better reflect who we are. And having some balance in our lives and healthier relationships with passion will ultimately lead to a more fulfilling and sustainable passion experience. And leave room for boredom. Such a good one. Passion thrives when there is space. Overload leads to burnout. So give yourself some time to step back and smell the flowers, look at the shapes of clouds, go for a walk in the woods. Just detach. So now let's build an ability to use passion as a tool. We have a big one here. So let's master passion. Passion can be like a fire. In a fireplace, it warms the house, but unchecked or put in the middle of the floor, it can burn the house down. So the goal isn't to chase passion, but to understand it and then harness it. So are you channeling your passion effectively? Do you have a dedication to achieving mastery in any area? That's where passion can really help you. Set realistic goals that are achievable, that will also allow you to progress towards mastery without becoming overwhelmed If you think back on the Dreyfus model of skill acquisition and the Maslow hierarchy of competence, those things can also be used as frameworks for you to gauge where you're at and where you might need to go to continue down a path of understanding and learning about a specific topic that you do have a passion about. Take a healthy perspective and maintain that healthy perspective throughout the journey, learning to enjoy the process rather than the end product. It can be really helpful to set boundaries for yourself. Establishing clear boundaries allows you to recognize when you're bumping up against something that you've created in a moment of sound decision making. Along those lines, set time limits. If you have something that tends to eat away at your time, putting yourself in flow, for example, for an entire day and then feeling exhausted at the end, set a time limit. Give yourself 60 minutes, 90 minutes, then take a break. And to follow up on that, prioritize taking care of yourself. Active recovery, a massage, spending some time being bored. So your challenge. So audit your own passion. Do you have something that's running your life, or do you have a healthy relationship with it and it's in harmony with what you want and what you want to be? And then, if needed, make shifts to gain control. As we just talked about, set boundaries for yourself, pursue other things intentionally, create a support network around you. So, quick and dirty look at the passion paradox. Again, go grab the book by Steve and Brad and better understand your own passion. Keep questioning, creating, and inspiring. See you tomorrow. Boom.